It's Wednesday, the 18th December 2024. Good morning and welcome to our breakfast show, Good Morning Sierra Leone. The program that starts your day with news analysis and views on current events. We are your presenters. I am Emmanuel Samoa.
And I am Esther Sako. Our quote of the day is from a Polish scientist, Marie Curie, and it says, "Nothing in life is to be fed. It is only to be understood. Now is the time to understand more so that we may fear less."
This is interesting. Well, coming up, as a Fuller Progressive Union condemns ethnic profiling and harassment of Fullers in Sierra Leone, government launches an investigation on the matter.
Visiting Guinean Foreign Minister to Sierra Leone says the operation that caused the displacement of Sierra Leoneans in Guinea was meant to create space for development purposes.
And Parliament commits the bill titled the Safe Motherhood and Reproductive Child Healthcare 2024 to the legislative stage. Viewers, we encourage you to participate by sending your text message to the numbers displayed on your screen or join us on Facebook at Slbc Live. The program you are watching is Good Morning Sierra Leone, live on the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation. Welcome back to the program you are watching is Good Morning Sierra Leone, live on the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation. Where we start the discussion proper to our first story. The All People's Congress Party is on a nationwide peace tour to party stalwarts and supporters. The move is to get the party together that has been fragmented since the 2023 elections ended. However, some say the tour will not impact the peace process within the party as the national executive is divided due to personal interests. So how has it been since the tour started? I have a member of the media team, Abdul Karim Kamal Esquire. Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Sierra Leone.
Good morning to our esteemed viewers out there. Good morning to the two beautiful Father Christmas and Mrs. Christmas. Season's greetings to you guys.
So AKK, from the point of the critics, they said the tour will not impact the peace process within the party because your party's national executive is divided based on interest. Is that so?
I think we've shamed them beyond reach. The naysayers are completely in shame that indeed what they anticipated is not exactly what the outcome was. It was so successful and fulfilling. You see the beauty, the pageantry attached there to the fanfare from all the places we've met, we've reached, and you see exactly that the reception was flamboyant, the reception was well resounding. So to our naysayers, we say shame on you because you wanted the APC to be in this disarray, and that will never be.
So AKK, you are now saying that when you are on the peace tour, there was this pageantry and reception.
Correct.
At what particular areas did this pageantry?
At my hometown in Bonn. You cannot believe that the hometown of the president, Julius Maada Bio. When we were in Bonn, you see the fanfare attached there to that the people who are barricading us in 2023 are now giving us a fanfare, a triumphant entry into Mokanji, into Sierra Ruta, into Bonn, telling us that we'll be say Chademe una no come, but una can or the queue sit on place.
So AKK, there in some part I heard something on social media or the online community saying that there are some parts in the north. When you went there, your executive talking about the peace process, the questions that the people are asking Where is their result?
Of course, we continue to allay the fears that indeed we are going past that post. As far as electoral justice is concerned, we've submitted 80 recommendations to the president, and you saw again from the 66th extraordinary session from ECOWAS, it was clearly made very clear in the agenda that ECOWAS and international communities will put hands on deck together with the opposition to make sure that government implements the 80 plus recommendations. And don't forget, this is exactly what you have succeeded.
So, okay, you're in a peace talk as a party. Have you settled the dispute within the national executive?
There have never been dispute.
You see it all over the place.
I've always been saying this. There have never been dispute. It doesn't mean because we don't agree together, that means we cannot agree in future. We agree to disagree on the round table. The fact is, there are certain things we just have to do them because time is not in our interest. In as much as we're pursuing electoral justice, again, we have to continue doing the party's activity because the party's activity is time bound. You understand? So it's happened simultaneously. We cannot just solely concentrate our effort into electoral justice, failing to understand that the party has its own dynamic. The party has to roll. So we are running both things simultaneously. That does not in any way signal that we're doing things in contravention or in unison.
So let's talk about the peace tour that you did, the targeted communities, the areas that you
We've gone to Kenema, very successful. Go Pujomoyamba bomb. Last week we are in Kono. We've completed Tonkolili, Bombali, Boloko, and Kambia. I think we now have remaining districts like Falaba, Kwenadugu, Karine, and Kailao. These are the remaining places. And I'll be leaving today for the Gambia.
So AKK, you talk about
Pageantry and the welcoming. There are mostly
some enticing words that you give to your supporters of party stores in some of those parts of the country that made them to give you this pageantry or triumphant source from what you said. What are some of these words?
because some of them
May be looking at you.
Exactly. Key amongst those words we are from the chairman of the party, the CEO, and Alhaji Minkailu Mansari. He says, with him at the helm of affairs, the primary custodian of our constitution, the APC March 7, 2022 constitution, is that he is going to make sure that there is a level playing field for all. That is exactly the sinking message that gone are those days when people are giving the standard bearership of our party or flag bearership or the silver platter. Wherein people are suppressed, people are completely constrained and creating an atmosphere where one person is giving the leverage over the other on due advantages to others to satisfy one individual. He has made it abundantly clear that this time in the APC, all and sundry will be exposed to be given the opportunity to play on a very level playing field, that no sacred cow, no one person will be given an undue advantage over the other. And that becomes like the catching phrase for everybody. Now all intended flag bearers are beginning to see that indeed this is going to be a very credible, fair and transparent.
So AKK from
the peace
tour, there are some talks that
when you are engaged in your party store, that your messages are all targeted towards Dr. Samuel Kama, who happens to be your former leader of the party.
With due respect to Dr. Samuel Kama, there is no other respect you can accord him rather than for him to be the standard bearer of our party for 2 consecutive times in 2018 and 2023. Yes, indeed, he's our former leader, indeed our former flag bearer. All what we are saying is that there has been so much of misinformation all over the place that the current executive has sold out to the SLPP and the current executive has just abandoned the whole fight for electoral justice. But rather we are coming bare. We are not taking privileged information to the people that this is exactly what happened, this is what transpired, and this is what has led us where
We are going with the motion that the APC is divided.
We are never divided.
So you didn't answer the question. Where your messages targeting Dr. Samuel Kama?
They were never targeting Dr. Samuel Kama, but rather we are laying bare the facts. Reps ipsa loquitur. Let the facts speak for themselves. We are telling people exactly this is what happened behind us. What exactly happened behind us is what we are bringing to the public. So just really what we call a full and frank disclosure.
So would you say the peace tour was successful?
Very successful, because there's nothing that sets you free rather than being truthful and honest to your colleagues.
So who amongst the flag bearer aspirants in the previous elections that have been part of this peace tour?
When we were in Waterloo, in the Western Rural Retreat, you saw JFK, you saw Sam Sumana on the high table, you saw Adi Macaulay, you saw different people, Petito and others. Everybody was there. We are all together.
So why not Why didn't you guys bring Samuel Kama on board himself for him to talk rather than these other ones? Are they not? Are your executive not, propagating the messages of those other ones who are aiming the higher seat in the APC party?
Except otherwise, you want to degenerate the APC to being a violent party, a party that is undemocratic. We extended invites to Dr. Samuel Kamara. We cannot coerce him, cannot force him to the theater, cannot force him to the room. He has been given the invite. If he so chooses to come, so be it. That's how democracy is. I came here on an invite, and I'm here. Had I not decided not to come, will you coerce me to come? No.
So how continuous will this process be to ensure that you bring your parties towards together to preach this, because this is all the nation needs?
It is going to be continuous. As I've told you, I'll be jetting out of the country to be for Gambia, because we're going there for our retreat. And I'll tell you sincerely that it is yielding dividend and will continue to reach our people, communicate to them, and put our party in order as we prepare for State House 2028.
Okay, many thanks there to you, Abdul Karim Kamara Esquire, a member of the media team from the All People's Congress Party. As the party, they were on a nationwide peace tour to party stalwarts and supporters. The program you're watching is Good Morning Sierra Leone, and you can be part of the conversation by sending your text messages to the number on your screen or send your comments on our Facebook page at Slbc Live. We'll move on to another issue. As the Ministry of Communication, Technology and Innovation has held a stakeholder meeting on the implementation of the Sierra Leone Digital Transformation Project. The 5-year project, which started in December 2022, aims at building resilient and inclusive digital environment and its legal framework whilst scaling up a citizen-centric digital public service delivery, among others. Well, they held an engagement that brought together stakeholders from ministries, departments and agencies to review past activities, achievements and challenges of the project and discuss its 2025 work plan. In the studio we have environmental and social specialist Sierra Leone Digital Transformation Project, Mariatu Barisa. Good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning.
Okay, so this is a 5-year project by the Ministry of Communication and it started in 2022. Give us a brief background of what you've achieved since 2022.
Thank you so much. So the project actually, as you rightly mentioned, is a digital project. We have the project firstly have achieved sorry. So we started first with assessment since the project was initiated. The reason why we start with assessment is that we don't want to just impose certain things on individuals rather than to get their views, what are their needs. So the project have been embarking on doing assessment. So we've done assessment and we've got some ones that have completed, and we've started initiating the outcome of those assessments that have been done. And then we've also provided assistive technology for disabled institutions. And then there is an assessment that is going on to ensure, because as the component 2 which says increase digital skills, so there's an assessment that is going on that will be completing in the first quarter next year to identify what type of training needs are there youth, individuals or people living with disability need in this country. So basically we are more into assessment now. Then next year we are sure of accomplishing those results that we get from the assessment.
Since 2022 you guys have been embarking on assessment. So what have you found out since 2022?
Okay, so there are lots of things. We've started with helping NATCA. So we are buying devices for NATCA, which is the National Telecommunication Authority. We've also purchased vehicles and other instruments for NC3, which is the National Cyber Security Agencies. And then, as I said, it's a gradual process. Those assessment takes time. You can start assessment and then it goes to procurement. You have some, let's say, a whole year of doing assessment. So we cannot just come into conclusion and start implementing rather than not going to know what the problem is.
So from your assessment since 2022, what are the gaps, the digital gaps that you discover, the critical ones that you discover? Because you have many. What are some of those that you've discovered?
Literacy. the digital literacy, there is a gap. Because if you find out, most of our people in Sierra Leone does not even know how to send an email. So that's one gap. And then in order to address that gap, there is there's a consultancy that is going on presently to ask for individuals or farms to submit their proposals in order to train individuals, youth, people living with disability, and Sierra Leoneans on digital skills.
So what are some of the digital skills that you guys have discovered that are lacking in Sierra Leone that you want to train people on? Because we have so many digital skills that people should have, but what are some of those critical ones that you discovered?
As I mentioned earlier, we'll get that result when the assessment is complete.
So your assessment has not yet been
Yes, for
completed?
digital skills. We don't
For digital skills,
yes. But for broadband internet as well, most of our assessments will be completed in the first quarter. Some, even though we have others that will continue based on what will be coming in, but some of our assessments, or most of our assessments will be completed in the first quarter, and then we cannot tell until those results come in.
Okay, so Sierra Leone is far behind when it comes to digital transformation. Let us know
How will these projects come in bridging that gap to ensure that you made mention of people who don't even know how to send an email. So what change will these projects bring to the country as a whole?
Okay, one of which we want to ensure that Sierra Leoneans can be anywhere and do whatever they want. For instance, if you are in my village, you can stay in my village, or maybe then move to just the headquarter. If you want to apply for your birth certificate, you apply for it. If you want to apply for national ID card, we all know that most Sierra Leoneans come to Freetown if they want to access different facilities. And then this project is there to ensure that you can be anywhere, then you access those informations.
So how do you target people in hard-to-reach communities? Because there are people here in Freetown that cannot send an email. Talk less of people that are living in far hard-to-reach communities that don't even know that phones exist.
So we work with institutions. We have TLAs, we have our technical lead agencies. Like for people that are hard to reach, we have a TLA that is called the Universal Access Fund Development Fund, sorry. So we work with those people. Those are people that know the in-depth of people living out of Freetown. And as I mentioned earlier on in the morning coffee, that this project is not just a project for Sierra Leone, rather a national project. So we collaborate with other institutions. That's how we reach people. And then there is this advocacy. I am the environmental and social safeguard person. So I ensure that we go to the last village that we'll be working with.
So who are the targeted people that you want to be part of this digital transformation drive?
Government institutions. As our project, we have 3 components. One of which we want to expand broadband internet. The second is digital skills. And the third one is to ensure that we expand government institutions.
Okay, so wait, one of the tempted to ask why target government institutions that also some of these people know they know what digitalization means. So why target them and not target ordinary people that don't know exactly what digital transformation is?
I can tell you that you can walk to an office and find somebody who cannot send a simple email. There are people in those institutions. So we target these people because we know these are people that are doing most of the work. That is just one component of the project.
So Mayatu, when you talk about increasing the broadband internet, are you talking about the quality or the reach?
The quality, the reach, both this project will be covered. The quality in the sense, presently UADF has poles that are just 2G, that have just 2G connections. And then this project is there to expand that 2G into 4G connections. And then we have a sub-component, which is the last mile connectivity. We want to ensure that even the last people are reached. So there is an assessment that is going on which will identify which communities are not connected.
So what about Freetown that we have internet, but the internet is as slow as a snail?
So this project have already supported 50 MDAs with megabytes, because when the minister was elected, she found out that a lot of other institutions were having internet problems, And then this project have supported 50 MDAs in internet connectivity.
Okay, so thank you very much. She is Mariatu by Sam,
the environmental and social specialist in
Digital Transformation Project.
Well, now we'll go to one of our headline topics.
The Fuller Progressive Union (FPU) has strongly denounced the wave of harassment, ethnic profiling, and wrongful detention of peaceful Fuller Sierra Leoneans, which began on Sunday, December 15, 2024 in Freetown, and has now reportedly spread to Waterloo, Kenema, and other parts of the country. These acts of targeting Fullers are undocumented foreigners, leading to arbitrary arrest and detention, represent a gross violation of human rights and an affront to Sierra Leone's constitutional principles of equality, justice, and unity. The FPU is deeply concerned that such systemic harassment undermines national cohesion and stokes unnecessary division among Sierra Leone's diverse ethnic groups. The Fuller community has long been an essential pillar of Sierra Leone's socio-economic, political, and cultural development. Meanwhile, government has officially responded to the incident within the last 48 hours. The government, according to a release, strongly condemns the reported act of intimidation, unwarranted arrest, and harassment against members of the Fuller community by certain elements within the security forces over the past 48 hours. These actions, the release went on, are already troubling and do not represent the values or directives of His Excellency President Julius Marabio or the government of Sierra Leone. The government of Sierra Leone assured the public of its steadfast in the commitment to upholding the principles of tolerance and inclusion and respecting the rights of all citizens. The Fuller people government emphasized are valued, are an integral members of the Sierra Leone community, and their contributions to the nation's progress are invaluable, and is solidly committed to supporting their rights as bona fide citizens of this country. Well, for more on this, from the side of the Fuller community, we have the spokesperson, the presidential spokesperson of FPU, Mohammed Bailo Chalo, in the studio with us. Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Sierra Leone.
Good morning, Slbc. Good morning, Sierra Leoneans.
Okay, me for once as an individual, when I saw this particular thing out, and I saw the press release from FPU, it's troubling, and I became concerned, as to how the Fuller community came about saying that this particular operation that the police or security forces are, undertaking are directly targeting the Fullers and not other ethnic groups.
Well, thank you very much. That's a concern. But firstly, let me make one clarification clear. I am not here to discuss about Guinean delegation, Guinean foreigners, or diplomatic issues with Sierra Leone government. I am here clearly on the mandate of the Fuller Progressive Union, the administrative wing for the Fullers within the Republic of Sierra Leone. Firstly, the reasons of us making that press release, saying or stating that they are targeting Fullers, there are a lot of evidences. On Sunday, when all this started, we went to different police stations, including the Hastings Police Training School. And I would say to you, 98% of the people that were arrested are Fullers. Mainly, the majority were women and children. Okay? And there were evidences at other places, like for example, you call Lomli Babadori, you call Abadiro, you call Kalbatao, you talk about Kono, you talk about the deputy tribal headman, they went to him at Kailau. This was all over the place. So for us, we are not against the government going through the right procedure in searching for illegal resident, because we know for every state they have their own policies, their own procedures, how to go in search of illegal resident in that republic. But for us, we believe it should not be always the Fullers. Whenever there's an issue in Guinea, you know, you will see Fullers have problem in Sierra Leone. No, you have Fullers in Guinea, you have Fullers that are Sierra Leonean, including me. I was born at 61 Wellington Street. I went to my primary school here, secondary school here. How could you take me or to target me being part of the Fullers that have issue in Guinea? Let's say it's a response to what happened in Guinea. For us to take exception clearly, and that's why as a union we ask, our question is clear, why did they target us? Because for us, the evidences are clearly painted on the wall or on the screen, that every place we went, the majority were Fullers. And our questions are clearly made. So what did these Fullers did? What are the crimes? What are the problem?
So based on your investigation, when we went to decide that this set of people were arrested, when you asked the authority, what did they say was the reason for the arrest?
My dear, I will give it to you clearly. There's no clear answer to it. There's no clear answer to it. You go to some places that they are arrested, they will tell you that they are doing search for foreigners without documents. You go some places, they will arrest so he will take out his passport. When they arrest Mamadou will show his ID card with no value.
According to what was going on social media and about the discussions, they were saying that this set of people don't have documents to prove their Sierra Leone.
Okay, let's say I've said that earlier on. Let me get back to that. Let's say that individual has no document. So are you saying the Fullers form 98% of the population in Freetown? Is that what you're confirming to us? Because the majority of those arrested were Fullers, and some of those Fullers were in their documents.
So is that the concern of the union?
Few. Let me give you our concerns. One, why did they target the Fullers, which we have made clear to the government? That is one. Two, why always if there's a problem in Guinea, the Fullers will be targeted here? And our point here is, number one, we give the government three things that we need. And already they have done one, by asking them to condemn the act. Because the government is saying they know nothing about that one. There's no instruction, there's no orders from any authority from government. So let the government come out and condemn, which they have done. And we said we want to meet with His Excellency because we don't want to solve this problem again and after some years repeat a story again like it has happened now. Some years back, this is a wake-up call. Some years back, it happens. I will not name names, okay? So bringing this kind of scenario again, you know, disturbs many Fullers, especially the experienced ones. And you can imagine, in essence, one of the police officers insulted the tribal headman. The Fuller tribal headman Western area is the chairman of the Council of Fuller tribal heads Sierra Leone. He was insulted by that policeman, asking him out of the police training school to say, "Unagona and they can't arrest una day." And he was well dressed with the tribal headman chain on his neck. You understand? So for us, he insulted the whole tribe. But after we requested these three things, one, we want the condemnation which they have done and said they don't know who is doing this is not the instruction. Two, we want to meet His Excellency. Three, we want all those who perpetrated the act, or all those who went out there misinterpreting the instruction given to them. Let's say there was an instruction to go in search of foreigners, fine, but all those that misinterpret that particular instruction to target just the Fullers, they should be brought to book and let them give us the reasons why they did so and what are the ideas behind that.
Okay, Byron, now meeting the president, you are requesting to meet the president, on which, you know, when you will be meeting the president, what would be that thing that you take to him that you believe that will bring, let me say, 100% solution, a lasting solution to this threats that your tribe is currently faced with?
National cohesion. National cohesion. The 16 tribes of the Republic of Sierra Leone, the history will not be completed if you don't talk about the Fullers. The history will not be completed if we don't talk about the Fullers. So if that's the case, We are going there, one, for us to discuss face to face with His Excellency on the topic national cohesion, security for every citizen that is part of the citizenship of this country. So we want to make that clear, and that's what we are looking for, and we hope government will adhere to it, because we are part of the republic.
Okay, many thanks there to you, the spokesperson of the Fuller Progressive Union, Mohammed Lailo Jallo. Well, from there, the visiting Guinean Foreign Minister said that the operation that caused the displacement of Sierra Leoneans in Guinea was meant to create space for development purposes. However, Dr. Morisanda Kuyete said during the exercise it was discovered that some people were involved in illicit drug dealing. He said the area was home to different nationals and that the operation was not targeted at Sierra Leoneans only. According to him, it was the Guinean president who pleaded with the justice system not to incarcerate the Sierra Leoneans found to be engaged in the sale of illicit drugs, but to send them home. Well, he emphasized that there are no issues between Sierra Leone and Guinea, and that Sierra Leoneans in Guinea who are involved in their legal activities have not been harassed in any form or whatsoever. Here is an extract of his visit to Sierra Leone.
Between us, no single problem. What happened in Guinea must be explained. We have some place where we are, cleaning now to build more building. But there, some people are there selling drugs, doing some crime, and so and so and so. So the justice ordered to arrest them and to bring them in face of the law. When the justice said, okay, we have people from Ghana, people from Liberia, people from Cote d'Ivoire, and from Sierra Leone. When they said from Sierra Leone, the president said, for Sierra Leone people, please, justice, you have to let the diplomacy doing his job for Sierra Leone, because Sierra Leone is specific for us. That's why we refused, the justice refused to put them into jail. Said no single Sierra Leone will go to jail. And we informed the ambassador, who is member of our team, crisis team. He knows everybody there. He's brother of everybody. So we said we have to avoid also to send some people who will say we are Sierra Leoneans, but they are not. So we said we have to see very well, instead of to send them in front of the justice and so, no, we hand over them to the government of Sierra Leone. We took this responsibility. Some people will say, yeah, why you make difference between, no. For us, Sierra Leone is different from other countries. So is that happened? And people said, no, they are throwing the Sierra Leoneans. No, it's not true at all. Many Sierra Leoneans are living in Guinea in peaceful. Many thousands and thousands of Guineans are living here, married between them. So the two presidents talk now is finished. It was misunderstanding and people misinterpretation. Now everything is set up. We continue to work together, to come together to solve all problems. Between us, no single problem. What happened in Guinea must be explained. We have some place where we are, cleaning now to build more building, to work together, to come together to solve all problems.
That was an excerpt by Dr. Morisanda Kuyete, the Guinean Foreign Minister, speaking on the operation in Guinea that he said it was not caused to displace Sierra Leoneans in Guinea, but was meant to create space for development purposes. But from there, we'll go for a short break and we'll come back we continue with the program. Continue to stay with us.
As a mother of the house, whenever I want to prepare palm soup, there's no need pounding palm fruit. All I need is Nkulenu's Ghana's original palm soup base. My soup is done, and its preparation, it is not difficult at all. Nkulenu palm soup base, it's easily done with no difficulties. Just take few ladles and your soup is done. And its flavor, it's amazing. This is Nkulenu's Ghana's original palm soup base. And this is Nkulenu's Ghana's original spiced palm soup base. Iron fruit and turkey berries are naturally added.
Also available brown gold natural cocoa powder, sunny gold brown sugar, neat fufu flour, shito, pisa, and moringa. All available at Nyami Ado Enterprise, 1 Lower Waterloo Street, Freetown.
Nkulenu palm soup base.
Ghanaian original taste.
Welcome back. The program you're watching is Good Morning Sierra Leone, live on the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation. Well, you can join
this conversation by sending me a text message so we know how to spell or join us on Slbc
live on Facebook.
Well, we go to another headline story of ours. Parliament has committed a bill titled The Safe Motherhood and Reproductive Child Healthcare 2024 to the legislative stage and also tabled the 2023 Auditor General's report. Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Senator Solomon Thomas, urged Chairman of the Legislative Committee to invite all relevant stakeholders and other interest groups, including religious leaders, to deliberate on the bill. Owing to much public interest it has attracted over the years, the Safe Motherhood and Reproductive Child Healthcare Bill 2024, as it was tabled by the Deputy Minister 2 of Health, Dr. Jalika Mustafa, continued to garner much public attention from many interest groups, including religious bodies. Strangers in the world played on their elected representatives not to allow the bill see the light of day, and also use their democratic right to appeal to the consciences of lawmakers. Well, for more on the Safe Motherhood bill, we have in the studio the program manager for reproductive health and family planning, Ministry of Health, Dr. Francis Moses. Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Sierra Leone.
Yes.
And also we have an activist, youth and children advocacy panel, Islander Kabia. Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Sierra Leone.
Good morning and thank you for having us.
And also we have our own Dennis Fraser, our parliamentary reporter. Good morning, Fraser. Welcome to Good Morning Sierra Leone.
Good morning, Mania. Thanks for having me on the program.
Okay, before we go to the panelists, to the guests to talk, Fraser, could you just paint a better picture of what transpired yesterday in the world of Parliament when this bill was tabled?
Well, yesterday, of course, it was really a scene of jostling across the political divide, and of course, the whole House saw a momentum of shake, I would say, insofar as tabling of the bill of the Safe Motherhood and Reproductive Child Care Bill was concerned. You know, in 2015, the effort of the government to really see how best, it can curtail the issue of incest and that of pregnancies that are mounting in the common issues, of course, and a particular bill as this one, tackling the doors of Parliament for cases of incest. Whenever there is that particular aspect, we've seen situations where by within families, father giving daughter, making daughter to become pregnant, or brother impregnating his own sister, or cases like this. So the ministry, in its efforts, wanted to see how best government can intervene in such situation. But yesterday, the Safe Motherhood, the Reproductive Child Health Care Bill, Act 2024, was tabled by the Deputy Minister of Health to Dr. Jalika Mustafa, and of course, members of Parliament and wanted to really have their bites on the bill before it was really committed to the legislative stage, because that has it has progressed to that particular stage as we speak. But leading up to that, of course, there were several interest groups in the House of Parliament. But you know, we live in a democratic dispensation. People have their rights to say, people have their opinions to seek. And in the interest of democracy, people were in the House of Parliament, especially religious leaders and other interest groups, were calling on their members of Parliament not to really allow this bill to see light of day. They advanced several reasons, and in their protest momentum, because they staged a protest in the House of Parliament, and for the first time you see strangers in the world gisting around for members of Parliament not to even give their attention to a bill like that. There some of the reasons they advanced in the placards they were carrying, or banners they were carrying in the world, denotes saying no to abortion, saying no to killing babies before they are born, and stuff like that. But one thing that stood out clear in all of the delegations yesterday, the proceedings of Parliament from both sides of the political divide made it clear that, of course, Parliament is a democratic parliament, and a listening one at that. It opens its hands to every shades of opinion, irrespective of religious belief, irrespective of religion or ethnic belief. It opens its hands to ensure that there are progressive laws. And in the interest of safety of women, this bill has advanced the stage of getting to Parliament to see how best Parliament can give accent to it. But in the interim, both the leader of government business, Honorable Matthew Kenema, and that of the leader of the opposition, Honorable Bukago, made it crystal clear that, of course, they will have to engage in several consultations with all interested parties to this particular bill. Okay. And of course, they've created room for position papers on those who think this bill should not go through. And of course, you know, one thing that was really fascinating was to see religious leaders across the two religions. Of course, Muslims as well as Christians were there to ensure in their own stead to make sure that members of Parliament don't really give attention to that. But again, I must hasten to say this, the bill has been committed to the legislative stage and by parliamentary proceedings, and of course it will have public hearings for members of the public to go and have their say on the bill, to make their input. But in the words of the minister, government is using this bill as a way to ensure the safety of women.
So, Dr. Moses, in as much as you are in the productive sector of the ministry, how does this bill, a bill that the people, interest group tagged as one that, kills babies or unborn children, how does it safeguard or protect the well-being of women?
So, thank you. That's a very interesting way of putting it. But the bill does not kill babies. The bill is there to protect women who are pregnant as a result of rape or incest, or who have babies with conditions that are incompatible with life. It gives them the option to terminate that pregnancy. So imagine going through a pregnancy for 9 months and having a baby with a congenital abnormality, for example, an encephaly, which means the head is not there or is poorly developed, or having a 13-year-old girl raped by a close relative with a physical structure that is not yet ready to have a child, and putting that child through the risks of pregnancy for 9 months without the option to ensure that she delays pregnancy until such a time when she is physically and mentally ready to have a child.
So is that a reason for the person to abort the child because she's 13 and is too young to go through childbirth?
I would not want my 13-year-old daughter to go through pregnancy. Even for a more mature individual, pregnancy takes a toll on a woman's body. And having a child who does not know about having children go through pregnancy is a painful thing. I have worked as a clinician for several years, and I have seen firsthand young babies, young children, we'll call them babies, 13, 12, die as a result of all of these complications. But I think the focus on abortion is magnified unnecessarily.
So Islander, as a child advocate, do you see the reasons that Dr. Moses is advancing? Do you see those reasons as enough reasons for us as a nation to legalize abortion?
Okay, thank you so much for that question. And I am going to re-echo Dr. Moses' point, and also add that the Safe Motherhood and Reproductive Health Bill isn't just about abortion, right? So the scenario that has been laid, you know, a child having pregnant, and you know, that's been reasons for the child to maybe, you know, get abortion. So I think we need again to understand the reality that we're faced with. Currently, about 30% of girls get pregnant before their 19th birthday. And what does that even mean? It means that, well, the education of that girl can be in, you know, jeopardy. We've all lived in certain communities wherein if an underage girl, you know, get pregnant, it's either that girl child is driven, you know, from the home, you know, to the streets, and what would even happen to that girl? What would her future, you know, look like? And Dr. Moses, who is the, you know, technical, is the health expert, right? And I believe that there are several cases wherein the girl's body, you know, maybe too young to be able to, you know, hold on to a particular baby. So in such instances, I think they are left with a critical decision to make whether they should be able to save the baby or, you know, or the child. And as much as we've been hearing so many negative, you know, connotations about the bill, that the bill will murder, you know, unborn babies, we've had the analysis you just made and the gentleman just read out. And how about the girls? How about the women and girls whose life is at risk if a certain action is not being taken? I feel like we all are experts in our own views, of course, but again, we have the experts in certain areas, and if medical personnel are telling us that certain cases requires abortion, then why can't we just, you know, yield to that? And another thing again I need to highlight is that abortions are happening. Abortions are happening. And what the bill is saying is to ensure that the abortion, if I want to commit abortion, then the circumstance must be safe under which I, you know, terminate a baby. And also the bill is ensuring that girls have access to comprehensive sexuality education, meaning I get to understand everything about my body, if I'm having sex, you know, my ovulation period, when and how, you know, to use contraceptives and all those critical information to help me to make informed decisions about my body, so as we don't even get to that point where I get to, you know.
So, based on the analysis, it is safe to say that you're in support of the bill to be passed in Parliament?
Absolutely.
Okay. So let me bring in Dr. Moses.
The arguments, the issues that are around with regards to the Interreligious Council,
with regards
the abortion, because that is what they are strongly against. So did you in any way engage the Interreligious Council to see the need for this bill to be passed?
Of course. I mean, the engagements have been ongoing for several years. I think we've been on it for more than 4 years. Engaging the Interreligious Council on several occasions. We've received position papers from the Interreligious Council which have influenced the development of the bill quite significantly. And we've also engaged other interest groups, traditional leaders, community people. We've gone around the country in all of the 16 districts and held town hall meetings with people. And generally, it's been positive. I mean, the bill is not just about abortions. It's about strengthening the health systems, ensuring that we have adequate health workers across the country to provide reproductive health services, ensuring that the health workers treat the patients with respect and dignity. All of these are provisions within the bill. And sadly, many people have just focused on the abortion component because that is what has been blown out of proportion.
So clarifying that area of abortion that the intelligence has used strongly against, what does the bill say with regards to abortion?
So the bill says that if a girl is raped, or there is incest, or the woman is pregnant with a fetus that has abnormalities that are not compatible with life. That means even if they give birth to that baby will not survive. Or the woman continuing the pregnancy will endanger the life of the woman. For example, if a woman has an ectopic pregnancy and you do not abort, that pregnancy might take that woman's life. Currently, our landscape has no legal provisions that support actions that medical personnel take to save that woman's life. In fact, the law we have from 1861 condemns abortion under all circumstances, and that is what we're seeking to change. We know that on an average, about 90,000 abortions happen every year in Sierra Leone, and many of these are done by quacks who use all sorts of implements. We have young girls who take all sorts of combinations of medicines to terminate pregnancy. They end up killing themselves. We have quacks who take a lot of money from people to perform very risky procedures that end up making young people infertile. I have had to perform a hysterectomy on a 14-year-old girl. The hysterectomy is taking away the womb because someone inserted a wire into that young girl and left that girl to die. She was lucky, she was brought in by her mom, and we had to do extensive surgery just to save her life. She spent more than a month in the hospital. And that's one of so many examples.
So does the bill cater for you engaging these girls? Because in this day and age, you see girls as young as 12 are actively involved in sexual activities. So does it cater, because you cannot give a room for the abortion and not give room for you engaging them to know the dangers of having sex and getting pregnant at a young age?
Absolutely. So the bill provides for counseling services. The bill provides for family planning services. The bill provides for all of the possible complications that may arise from pregnancy, prenatal care, postnatal care, all of that, ensuring that our free healthcare services are strengthened. All of those provisions are within the bill. And if this bill is passed, it will be a game changer for reproductive health services in Sierra Leone.
So, Islander, I bring you in. The situation now in Sierra Leone, as you've mentioned, that the statistics have shown that we have a huge number of girls before the age of 19. The huge number of them, commit, they do abortion.
They get pregnant.
They get pregnant. They get pregnant. And in Sierra Leone, even though the abortion bill has not yet become a law, but yet we have huge number of abortion happening everywhere.
Absolutely.
And we know the country that we are living. So if this particular bill comes to a law, what do you think will be the situation of girls?
Excellent questions. First and foremost, Sierra Leone is not the first country to have laid such bill to parliament to be passed law. There are other countries with even who are more conservative when it comes to cultural and religious beliefs. Countries like Morocco, Tunisia, and even Ghana, they've passed this law, and what they realize is that even there's a drastic reduction in the abortions that were being conducted. So the bill has a component on abortion, but one thing again that we're failing to see is that it's make provision for accessing family planning services, accessing adequate comprehensive sexuality education, which will first of all help girls to understand.
So are the current sexual education given not adequate?
Oh, they are not adequate.
Why? Why do you think or say so?
They are not adequate. So moves have been made by the Ministry of Basic and Senior Education to basically institutionalize comprehensive sexual. In fact, it's not called comprehensive sexuality education. I don't know if it's during your tenure wherein you guys, were fortunate to be able to be taught about, basic skills about your bodies, about, how to take care of your home. That there's a name for it, right? So these are things that are still on the pipeline that definitely the bill makes provision to, propel.
So, Doctor, one will say if there is a stiff resistance from these other parties, to accept this bill or this bill to become law, is that your engagement has not been that much fruitful in educating the people that really this bill is not about just saying we are going to legalize all type of abortion.
I think it's the other way around. I think the issue is that the people who are in favor of the bill are relatively quieter than those that are not in favor. And in any society, no matter how good something is, you definitely have a set of people who are against it and a set of people who are for it. And those that are for it are not as loud as those that are against it. But I'm hoping that that will change. I feel that, we need to let our opinions known, our stories told, particularly of women and girls who have gone through some of these very difficult circumstances, those who have lost their loved ones to unsafe abortion practices, and those who seek to ensure that every woman in Sierra Leone is protected as far as their reproductive health rights are concerned.
Okay, so moving forward, let's say the bill is not passed in Parliament. What will be your next move?
We will continue the engagement. We think that Sierra Leone should not be one of those countries that gets left behind in a very progressive world. I mean, in countries like Ghana, Ethiopia, in fact, the laws in Ethiopia are even more progressive than ours. Ethiopia is allowing for abortion on demand, and Ethiopia is one of the most religious countries in the world.
Okay.
I mean, so I feel that we are even being very conservative in the provisions that are in this bill,
Okay.
and I feel that this is going to be a step in the right direction as far as providing for reproductive health services.
Okay, many thanks there to you, Dr. Francis Moses, Program Manager for Reproductive Health and Family Planning, Ministry of Health, and Islander Kabir, Activist Youth and Children Advocacy Panel. Well, it's now time for us to go the review of the front pages of our local tablets, and the first speaker I have there this morning is the Premier News, and the banner headline says, Central Bank directs financial institutions to adopt national payment switch. Ethnic profiling of harassment of rulers condemned. The case of safe mother, a promise to every woman. The case for safe motherhood bill. Every Nation Polytechnic unveils modern campus in Blue City. For more, you're going for the Premier newspaper.
Well, my first one here is our code newspaper, and it opens with a headline that says Guinea and Sierra Leone foreign ministers address deportation incident in press briefing. No Fula citizens was detained in Sierra Leone, says IGP Fire. All 290 contacts of suspected VHF case in Kono completed 21-day observation without symptoms. That is the photo of the Minister of Health. Starlink launches in Sierra Leone to address internet connectivity challenges. These stories plus more you can find in our core newspaper.
Our next speaker is the OIV newspaper, and his banner headline says, Study Bongo to be laid to rest on December 23rd in Kenema. MGC ends delegate conference, elects new executive, and late Victor Williams laid to rest. For more, that's going for OIV newspaper.
The next one here is the Congo Times newspaper, and it says, Government allays fears of fuller community. Sierra Leone loses over 233 million euros in 2023 audit report. A promise to every woman, the case for Sierra Leone's safe motherhood bill, the Deputy Minister of Health. C40 FCC train journalist bloggers on climate change reporting. Parliament tables 2023 Auditor General's report. These stories plus more you can find in the Concord Times newspaper.
My next speaker is the Standard Times newspaper, and his banner headline says, Council Bureau again appoints youngest Chief Justice. found with cocaine at Lunde Airport, internationally relocated. For more stories, you can follow Standard Times newspaper.
Awareness Times newspaper opens with a banner headline that says, as a seems envoy from Guinean leader to discuss maltreatment of Sierra Leoneans, President Bio is displeased over Guinea's action. Trinity Old Boys, Kenema celebrates 6 years of superb academic performance. These stories plus more you can find in the Awareness Times newspaper.
My last speech here this morning is the Unity newspaper, and its banner headline says, EU provides 20 million euros to support solar mini grids. Thank you, HEBO and Madam Fatima, for your support to the infrastructural development of MMTU. That is quoting the Professor Philip J. Kanu. Dr. and Mrs. Prince rebuilt Trinity United Methodist Church in Bauma Town. Honorable Mr. Farali boost HEBO's big 5 game changers in Lakumasama. And in quotation, safe mobile bill a lifetime for Sierra Leone's women and girls. And finally, peace and security assured throughout the festive season. That is quoting ONS boss. For all that's going for the Unity newspaper.
My final newspaper here is the Africa 24 newspaper, and it says gunshots in Konadugu village. Also inside this edition, reports indict Zudlabs and HID. FGM 16 days of activism at 991. 290 VHF tested, show no symptoms. Government now Sani Abacha state. Payrolls are tampered. 2023 audit report indicates. These stories plus more you can find in the Africa 24 newspapers. Viewers, mind you, the stories that we just heard, they do not reflect the views of the SLBC, rather of our local tabloids. Well, this is how we got the cut down of today's edition of Good Morning Salon. I want to say a very big thank you to our studio guests and our production crew, especially our producer, Daphne Zainab Kamara.
Good morning, sir. Returns tomorrow at exactly 9 o'clock. But before we go, a quick recap of our quote of the day. And it's from a Polish scientist, Marie Curie, and it says, nothing in life is to be feared, it is only to be understood. Now it is time to understand more so that we may fear less. I've been Esther Sako.
And I am Emmanuel Sabua. Tata.
Discover Sierra Leone, a hidden gem of West Africa, where the rhythms of life dance in harmony with the beauty of nature.
Feel the heartbeat of our culture in every beat of the drum, in every step of the dance.
Experience the tranquility of our shores, where each sunrise brings new stories and endless possibilities.
Immerse yourself in the vibrant
Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation Television on Channel 31. This is News Brief with me, Dennis Fraser. Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Timothy Kaba, has said that the government did not instruct the security forces to arrest anyone as a means of repatriation. Timothy Kaba said that the recent operation was aimed at safeguarding national security, but did not say whose instruction the police was acting on. He was speaking at the weekly press briefing of the Ministry of Information and Civic Education. Timothy Kaba said negotiations was ongoing between Guinea and Sierra Leone on the situation of Sierra Leoneans in Guinea, and that there was no way the government in Freetown could have ordered the security forces to go after certain people in retaliation. He said the displaced Sierra Leoneans in Guinea could have been in prison, but the Guinean government chose to send them back home due to bilateral relationship between the two countries. Meanwhile, government has announced that it has launched an investigation into what it described as acts of intimidation, unwarranted arrest and harassment against members of the Fula community by some members of the security forces. The College of Medicine and Allied Health Sciences has held its 2024 graduation ceremony. The event, staged at the historic Ajayi Crowther Amphitheatre, Fuabe College, is the first of 3 congregations lined up by the University of Sierra Leone in 2024. The graduation came less than 9 months after the previous congregation honoring the classes of 2024. Among the shining stars of the day were Asanatu Yeni Kanu, who made history by bagging the title of overall best graduating student, and Hassan Bayi, who earned recognition as the best male graduating student. This was the first congregation the University of Sierra Leone has held in December since the end of the coronavirus epidemic in 2015. This year's congregation represents a bold move by University of Sierra Leone to turn the academic year around. The Ministry of Communication, Technology and Innovation has held a stakeholder meeting on the implementation of the Sierra Leone Digital Transformation Project. The 5-year project, which started in December 2022, aims at building resilient and inclusive digital environment and its legal framework, while scaling up a citizen-centric digital public service delivery, among others. The Sierra Leone Digital Transformation Project was a move to foster collaboration, build trust, and align their shared interest in expanding digital access and increasing resilience of the digital environment in Sierra Leone. The engagement brought together stakeholders from ministries, departments, and agencies to review past activities, achievements, and challenges of the project and discuss its 2025 plan. Project Coordinator Kumba Musa digressed on the progress of the project and the 2025 annual work plan, noting that the $50 million project sponsored by World Bank will not only help the government deliver its services and reach a wider audience, but also expand digital access to citizens. Chairperson of the All People's Congress in the United States of America has reiterated the call for unity and peace within his party. Speaking at the inauguration of the APC Pennsylvania chapter, Executive Dr. Sofian Kaloko acknowledged internal challenges in the party, but urged members to put aside individual differences and prioritize the interests of the party. He noted, he told his fellow party members that they could not achieve electoral success without unity, resilience, and dedication. He pointed to personal ambitions and infighting as significant obstacles to the APC progress. He urged members to set aside their individual goals and prioritize the collective interests of the party and Sierra Leone. The chairman also criticized the role of social media in exacerbating divisions within the party, noting that confrontational posts and personal attacks among party members and supporters are doing more harm than good to the party. And the Indigo Center for Justice has hosted a student leadership symposium on the theme Dream, Decide, Deliver, a pathway to purposeful living. The event also marked a crucial step in supporting the Guide the Boys campaign, which is the organization's flagship program aimed at empowering youths with vision and purpose. The initiative aims to equip students with leadership skills while fostering support for boys' well-being and development. The event brought together students, educators, parents, and leaders to inspire and address the challenges faced by boys on the issue of drug abuse and gender-based violence. And that's the end of News Brief, which came to you from the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation television on Channel 31. Stay tuned.
You're watching the SLBC on Channel 31, the authentic voice of Sierra Leone.
Listeners, faculty institutions that are here with us, I want to say welcome to today's ceremony. I now ask the Registrar of the University of Sierra Leone, Mr. Monda Levy, to give the welcome address. Mr. Levy.
Madam Chancellor and Chairperson of the University Court, His Excellency the President of the Republic of Sierra Leone and visitor of the University of Sierra Leone.
You're watching the SLBC on Channel 31, the authentic voice of Sierra Leone.
Members of the diplomatic and consular corps, the worship Emir of Freetown, religious leaders here present, honorable members of parliament, our development partners, alumni of the University of A warm welcome to each and every one of you to our annual graduation ceremony of the business wing of our university, the Institute of Public Administration and Management. Our mission remains steadfast to shape minds, transform lives, positively impact on society. This congregation is especially significant as we return to our traditional December calendar. After years or decades of adjustment to March, April, or May, this movement reflects a revival of heritage and continuity. Today, we celebrate the hard work, resilience, and brilliance of our university graduates. The class of 2024. I say congratulations. Yes. This remarkable milestone you have achieved, the world eagerly awaits the contributions you will make. Thank you all for joining us for this historic occasion. Welcome to a day of pride, a day of tradition, and to celebrate the joy inspired to us all this day to come. I welcome you all to this remarkable day for the congregation of our graduates of the 2024. I thank you all.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mandalevi, Registrar of the University of Sierra Leone. I now call on the to give his address. Some young men who are eager to go home and celebrate with their families. I don't want to keep them here longer. This day, Madam Chancellor, for me, is a momentous one. We are graduating some 1,500 students today. Yesterday, we graduated 714 students. And tomorrow will be in 1,200. Last year, we graduated another cohort of students. It might interest you to know that we have set records because within a few successfully conducted 2 congregation ceremonies. Those who graduated in April, and here in less than 9 months, we are graduating another cohort. That's a milestone because we have been doing this in April, but now we are returning back to December of every year. And if everything goes well, we should be doing it even higher than that. I want to thank my staff because they have worked so hard to make this possible. I know a lot of you here never believed when we said we were going to hold congregation in December. December remain December. We need to change. Madam Chancellor, the staff who train these students are heavily involved in research. A lot of this research is done with partners across the globe, and it results in publications which help to shape the minds and character of our students. A lot of this research is also funded by external partners, and I'm glad to say we will keep doing that. This year, Madam Chancellor, we did receive partners who visited our university, especially the professor of ICT who came from Lagos State University to help us fine-tune our ICT directorate. We also received the executive director from the University of Wisconsin at Madison, who comes from a non-profit directorate to pay a visit and see how we can strike partnership. Also, the deputy mayor of the city of Madison in Wisconsin, USA, visited me, and we had a very lengthy talk, and this is an opportunity for us to continue to lay partnerships so that we can move our university forward. Madam Chancellor and Honorable Deputy Minister, if you will permit me, I want to talk to these graduates because I have a very salient. You should consider yourself very fortunate today because you are graduating. You have done so well. You have been excellent. And we are very pleased that you are going to graduate today. It's sad also that you are going to leave us. But I want to assure you that it's not sadness, because we want you to get out there and put in practice all of the knowledge and skills you have acquired so that you can help transform our country. For me, that is what gratifies me, and I'm pleased to let you go. Madam Chancellor, the theme for my speech to these students and graduates today is goodness and selflessness, a truism in transforming the University of Sierra Leone. My choice is based on recent interactions with staff, as well as some of these students you see here today, and even some parents that have been graduated for them. It is the attitude of caring about others and doing acts that help, even though you don't expect to get any reward in return. This definition exemplifies the values I would like to see cultivated by this graduating class, and by extension, those that have left our university, and even for all of us present here today. Every great religion across the world accept these values. I chose to emphasize to nullify some of these challenges we've been through here at the University of Sierra Leone. Do not let such trying days diminish these fundamental human values of goodness and selflessness in you. These values are priceless, and when you give or share in them, you are forever imbued with joy and the rewards that have no measure. You have all been molded for the world out there, a world which your university or alma mater
center still continues to stand out. I acknowledge the years spent here with us, we have wrought with changes in you. Changes that brought about through overcoming difficult challenges. Many a time, some, if not all of you, have raised concerns about missing grades, the late publications of results, issuance of transcripts, and even ID cards. Most of you might say the lectures you have attended have not been full of fun or inspiring. Your classrooms are uncomfortable and you are faced with overcrowding. Your laboratory are old and they lack modern equipment that will inspire you so that you can be innovators. But should these challenges make you want to dissociate yourself from the University of Sierra Leone? Each of us growing up brought untold frustration and menace into the lives of our parents. Some of us were very stubborn, some of us disobedient, some of us even were disrespectful to our parents. And there were a multitude of vices, some of which I will not name here. But the question I will ask you, did your parents disown you for some of these vices? I guess the answer is no. So in like manner, old building. I am pretty sure a lot of you saw so many potholes with stagnant water. But today, if you visit here, you will see an environment that is beautiful, and you will see the joy and peace on the faces of people who interact in such places. And for many of you here who come from my path, I know a lot of you express joy when you enter the IPAM campus and the university secretariat for the first time after finishing your exams. You saw beautiful gardens, you saw a very well landscaped environment, and seats were provided, which was very astonishing for most of you. These are the kind of changes that I want to see across the entire university. But these changes will not happen if good people do not come on board. It takes the goodness and selflessness of people to change the world for a better place. The university will continue to need you, and those outstanding human values should make you champions of giving, as well as we seek to transform the University of Sierra Leone. You are going to be part of the growing body of alumni. To all of you present here, and the countless numbers out there listening to me, I want to assure you that the University of Sierra Leone wants you to come on board and make these changes. Our buildings are old and they lack adequate facilities to accommodate all of you. And I know those of you coming from my farm will attest to that. And our labs as well. They are ill-equipped and do not have the cutting-edge equipment to really provide the insight that will make some of you to become innovators. But I know there are among those of you, even though you have faced frustrations here, you have had moments of happiness interacting on the University of Sierra Leone campus. And even those who left before you, there have been moments of joy. Those moments of joy, I want you to continue to cultivate, because this is the only thing that is guaranteed for you. And with that, you become good and selfless. I want to underscore also how important you are to the University of Sierra Leone. Every student that enters our institution should be treated with fairness and should be made to experience good memories. I want all of my staff members to join me in achieving this and help move our institution forward with the support of our alumni. This requires massive improvement in our work ethics, building a work relationship with our students that inspires such positive memories. Selflessness has deep roots in empathy and compassion. Our altruistic tendencies will create waves of kindness. With a quiet voice and a bigger heart, I want you all to march forth with humility in making a difference in the lives of all students and expect no rewards in return. Mahatma Gandhi once said, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Through giving, we can change lives. Don't diminish your happiness by focusing on yourself alone. When you volunteer your time and skills, you are being selfless and will help grow our university and the world around us. When you donate, we can fight bigger challenges. Here at Freetown College, we have land that is being encroached on. Our botanical garden is being suffocated. Our farm needs a campus, but we cannot do that at Freetown if you don't have the resources. The campus at Freetown needs new infrastructure. Garden is being suffocated. Our farm needs a campus, but we cannot do that at Freetown if you don't have the resources. The campus at Freetown needs new infrastructure and accommodation facilities. We have created an endowment fund, and I want to appeal to all of you to be part of it. Even the parents, don't just think about paying school fees, but help us to transform this university so that the kids that come after your children will inherit something that's more befitting of what you desire in your life. As we confer your degrees and award your diplomas and certificates today, receive them with pride and embrace them with gratitude. May your forward march in life from this day henceforth be filled with never-ending goodness and selflessness towards the University of Sierra Leone. And may all of us be part of this great experience that lies ahead. As you take your steps to leave our beautiful campus, stay in touch as alumni. May any negative memories be subdued and the new values of goodness and selflessness be strengthened in you all. May your ties with the University of Sierra Leone be balanced from goodness and empathy, a bond that will continue well beyond this graduation day and never to be broken. Mother Teresa was an embodiment of goodness and selflessness, and an outstanding benchmark for altruistic acts. I want to encourage you all to emulate that so that you can be in oneness with the University of Sierra Leone. In closing, I congratulate all of you on your wonderful achievement. May God's richest blessings never depart from you, and let the joy of this Christmas season continue to shine on you all the days of your life. May the jobs flow wherever you send your applications for employment. And above all, may the goodness and selflessness of your parents last long enough until you find better paying jobs. A Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year in advance to you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Levy, for the address. We now ask the Chancellor of the University of Sierra Leone, Chief Dr. Margaret Dabo, to make her statement with the first female Chancellor of the University of Sierra Leone.
Deputy Minister of Technical and Higher Education, kindly allow me to stand on existing protocols, having listened to the recognition by the registrar of the university of everybody here present. It is both exciting and rewarding to congregate here for the second time since my ascension to the helm of the University of Sierra Leone administration to confer certificates, diplomas, and degrees to our children, compatriots from the constituent colleges of our university. As a practicing Christian, it is my belief that this is owing to the grace of God, first and foremost, and from the support and hard work of all stakeholders involved, including the central government, university administration, staff, and even the students themselves, for which I am indeed grateful. We must pat ourselves on our backs for successfully reparting to the substantive operational calendar, commencing teaching in October after disruptions by the Ebola outbreak and then later on by COVID-19 pandemic. I thank you all. Over the past year, the university was not isolated from the global economic slowdown, which adversely impacted the government and by extension the university system. But yet still, we strive to prepare our students for this occasion, a testament to our steadfastness and resilience. Our country is proud of all of us. Thank you. But the issue I want to dwell on this morning is leveraging on our inherent capacities and capabilities to gainfully and effectively impact on the university community